So originally I wanted to wait until the last 2 episodes were out so I could go about. Now, Giorno Giovanna is a strong member of Bruno's guard team, but how strong is that exactly? Welcome to the Outside of series, where, Jesus Christ, I have been doing this since 2016. That is a long time. That was like my first JoJo video. Oh my goodness, it's been so long since then. Now, this is a series where I take a character from a franchise to list and calculate their feats to see how strong they are. The thing is, after part 3, the amount of focus on strength starts to lower, and that's because the fights are more so circulated around the intelligence of the people involved and their abilities instead of one person just overpowering the other, which does a lot better for the plot, narrative, and all that. But onto what we have to work with for everything that's not GER. Now we're going to be starting it off with Giorno and his strengths, not his stand, but he himself. Now, he doesn't do the most hands-wise, he's not the one to really throw them, but he's shown that he's very durable. For example, in the babyface fight where he was fighting with a removed eye and throat, and you can also refer to the Clash and Talking Head fight where he was being attacked by Clash and he still took shots from Narancia's Aerosmith so that Narancia could locate where he is. We've seen the people that Narancia kills with Aerosmith. You do not want to take shots from Narancia's Aerosmith. It's not an okay thing. Though the good thing here is that it wasn't as many bullets, and even if it wasn't as many, being able to be shot by Narancia while still being attacked by Clash the whole time makes a large case for how durable Giorno can be. Nothing much on speed or AP, but Giorno is usually just shown to be a pretty fit guy. I'd actually give Giorno that one scene where he was able to get out of the room before Koichi could get inside, because that required an extremely fast set of decision-making skills and execution for being able to get out that fast. Now, onto Gold Experience. A good thing Part 5 being animated, feats are made a lot better and we don't have to rely on scaling entirely, I guess. On the scaling side of things, we'd be able to give Giorno a lot of credit for being able to tag and all around just beat Bruno and how well we see Bruno do in the part, though it can be chalked up that this is a version of Bruno that isn't as smart as the end of the part Bruno, and this fight itself was a contribution to him becoming stronger, though that's whatever because we have the car feat. In the babyface arc, to throw off potential enemies hunting the Bruno defense squad, Giorno beats up a bunch of cars and then turns them into frogs. Or well, to be specific for those that want to know why, it would be dangerous to just steal one car, so Giorno helps steal multiple by turning them into frogs. The manga's portrayal of this had Gold Experience going car to car and beating on them, but how the anime had gone about it, it did a lot more for him here. Giorno had launched about 10 cars in total, extreme lowballing the speed of Gold Experience here to a subsonic character, using the feat to where Giorno is able to give light to a bullet that number 5 had hit him with, making him basically a bullet timer. Just for an example here, for people that don't believe that a lot of the JoJo stands are massively faster than light. Even then, a bullet kicked by just number 5 would be extremely faster than a revolver bullet, but I'm just lowballing here. Now, after seeing the cars there and excluding the average weight of large trucks because you didn't really see any there, the average for the cars here would be around 3.64 tons. Finding the specific car weight for each one of those cars could also work, but averaging does well enough job here. It would come out to be 2,819,400 joules in terms of force exerted on a single car, making it 28,194,000 since it was multiple cars with this one barrage, which would put Giorno at around small building level. Though it could have been gone about in a different way if you consider the distance that the cars have traveled in the air, and if you consider the angles, so you could potentially go about this in a projectile motion type calculation where it depends on the launching force, and after that the set distance would actually also help account for how much energy was used there, but I'm not exactly sure how you would go about that, but I'm sure someone would, like anyone here in the comics would most likely tell you how you can go about that in that specific regard. But if we were going about this and the speed of Gold Experience was actually the speed of light with no extra multipliers or anything, that would move Gold Experience from small building to multi-city block, which at that point would make him comparable to stands like Star Platinum and Crazy Diamond, but I believe that there should be more investigating on all of that in general. As of recent, a lot of JoJo characters have been getting referred to as town level because of those characters being able to beat stands like Justice, Red Hot Chili Pepper, and Weather Report. And those are all like characters, those are all stand users that can cover a town level of distance or have like town level power, specifically Red Hot Chili Pepper because he was able to use a town full of electricity and use that to his own stand. Oh man, he's so buff now. But yeah, that's something that could be reviewed altogether. So I think I'll be potentially looking over everything after this video, and I can probably update videos like this one and specifically for Gold Experience and older ones for previous stand users I've covered. Just potentially because that is actually a thing that could be a huge reveal of all the stands possible. I think that's going to be a huge thing in general, but I just need to look at that after this. But yeah, I think that's enough that I'd say for Gold Experience. So we're now going on to Requiem. Now, before getting into how far these abilities can go, a quick review and explanation on a few of the things. Gold Experience had the ability Life Giver, where it could fill anything with life using its fists, and we had seen how far the ability had gone. You have the ability to make frogs, snakes with venom that can counter a stand's whole ability, and whole organs, basically. With Requiem, the ability had an enormous level up to the point of where a single rod can bust up a whole pillar and turn into multiple scorpions right after. The new ability it got is the ability to revert both actions and willpower back to zero. You can just call it reverting to zero, which altogether is just basically resetting. And our example of this and how far it could go is him using it to reset Diavolo's time erasure. Well, more so not even him using it, because Gold Experience Requiem is basically a passive ability, which is ridiculous on both parts because he was able to use it to counter time erasure. It makes this ability one of the best defensive abilities that there is. I'm not sure on how the limitations of the stand himself work, since our only real thing to go off of is Power 5 here, and we know that it stands outside of space-time with what it was able to do against King Crimson's ability, an ability that already affects time itself and not just time in some small areas of the world. I don't know why I have to clarify that, but I've been seeing a few comments on time stands in JoJo only affecting the small area that they're in, like if Jotaro was to stop time, it only stops time in Egypt. It's ridiculous. I don't get that. I would love to make a all-around bigger case for this stand, but I believe that there'd be required more evidence to support the lengths that it could go. But being a higher fourth dimensional being than most is extremely strong. It's a lot stronger than most characters we normally see in shonen, and characters that are on the level of GER are usually put into stalemates when people are arguing it. And to go over Gold Experience Requiem's last ability, the thing is, those that watch the anime only will not know about this until the 28th, so alright. Infinite Deaths, which is still classified under the whole return to zero ability, but it's like an extra effect that happens when you're killed by Gold Experience Requiem. Like how you get hit by Sludge Bomb and you get poisoned, except this is way worse. The Infinite Deaths put you into an infinite number of scenarios where the outcome is you dying, no matter what. It's a reality where the only thing that takes place is you dying. It's hell, but instead of your soul just being sent there to toil, it's you in your entirety just dying an infinite amount of times. It's symbolic for Diavolo in more ways than one, but I'll be getting to that in a different video. So yeah, altogether, Gold Experience Requiem is busted. Thank you all for watching. I plan to upload more and go hard on everything that I do, but I'm moving, so that halted a lot of the stuff that I had planned. And I guess I can tell you that I have this Requiem project thing in the works, so hopefully I'll be able to go over that relatively soon. I hope to see you all in the next one. Until then, thank you all for watching and supporting me. Peace out, and Godspeed.
They're coming for me. No, no, no! Stay back!
Wait, where did you get that piano?